I remember when we were strong. Back in the days before King Tenebrae and his royal guard, and the people of Amosran took up their own arms for fun and profit. Before all that, here was just us, the Viridian Outriders. We kept the roads and trails safe and secure, with homes and forts scattered about and locales civilized and not. Time passed, and we have been replaced. And yet, I hear the rumblings and murmurs of the roads being less safe than they had been. Monsters sniffing around in smaller towns and magic acting oddly. Who knows? Maybe we'll be needed again. Hello, and welcome back to Another Path. My name is Chase, and I remain your GM. Today, our Outriders receive their orders, make preparations, and head out towards Iterfenus. Thank you to our backers, Tyler, Kyle, and Xander, for their support. If you like what you hear, consider donating to us at patreon.com/ghostlightmedia, and maybe try checking out some of the other shows on the network. And with that, sit back, relax, and enjoy your trip down another path.
Quick poll, what's everyone's preferred web browser? I'm a Firefox kid.
I am Chrome because of work.
I am also Chrome because of work.
Yeah,
But you guys acknowledge the problem that is Chrome, right?
Oh, yeah.
100%. I was Firefox until previous job at the school. Firefox wouldn't work on the network. So had to switch.
Yeah. And I've had like jobs on and off literally since 2012, where it's like the only web browser that all of the necessary apps played well with was Chrome. So it's like, well, I'm stuck in this ecosystem and I'm on Android. And so everything plays really nice with Chrome between that.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever, I guess. Fine. Jeez.
Justin, are you Chrome all the way through?
I'm not picky, but it's where all my stuff is saved.
At least you're not using Opera.
Yeah, you know who uses Opera?
Friend of the show, Rin.
Rin.
It will use Opera until she dies.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, here's the thing. I was an Opera user. When I was in college, like, that was my browser of choice for a solid 2 years. Also, I used, like, a different browser every, like, 6 months to a year when I was in, like, I was fucking anarchic.
Really hopping around. Really shopping around with the browsers.
Browsing them browsers.
Yeah. Justin, you mentioned hyperfixations a second ago, and I'd love to discuss those with you. Would you like to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. So, recently I was looking on the iOS App Store trying to find something new.
Oh, no. What's worse than chicken game?
No, here's the thing. It's different. It's Delta Game Emulator.
Delta Game Emulator.
And
okay.
it is
I'm going to pull it up.
NES, SNES, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS Game Emulator for iPhone.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
You don't get a lot of those, huh?
No.
Oh,
No,
this looks
don't.
good.
And it works. Oh, it's also N64. It's really good.
What?
Oh,
And
shoot. I can turn my phone sideways and it's a Game Boy Advance?
yeah, you just download
shit.
ROMs and it's so easy to use, and Nintendo's probably going to shut it down. But
Almost certainly.
Oh, turtly for sharks.
Without question.
until they do, I will play Pokemon Crystal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm downloading this literally right this second.
Could play OG Fire Emblem on your phone.
I'm going to listen. I'm about to download Hector Hard Mode and prove that I still got it.
Yep. I can play Paper Mario on my phone.
Now, I will say it is the N64. While it works, it is hard to use the joystick
That's
valid.
on
the phone.
Yeah.
But like, if you have one of those like plug-in game controllers,
Oh, shit.
then
The Backbone, is that what it's called?
something like that.
Oh, the backbone.
But
It gives your phone a backbone. It's
I
a good
assume
name,
it's
actually.
here for a good time, not a long time. But
Justin brought up video games, and then Griffin pivoted right on over to Paper Mario. So I'm going to say that Paper Mario Thousand Year Door releases on Switch.
Fucking
fully
2 days before
remastered.
my birthday, homie.
It's the best, Griff. I'm so
My
happy.
girlfriend
for
already
you.
has a gift for me, and it's that. Yes.
It's perfect. I'm so happy for us. I'm so happy for you. I have one thing that I'm mad about.
What's that?
I have like a lot of car time that weekend as I'm driving up the wedding.
You're driving?
Yeah, I'm going to make a stop in Chicago to see JD Caudle, friend of the show.
Oh,
Nice.
love JD.
It'll be great. I'm mad because I have to drive myself.
So you can't play
So
Switch
I
games
can't
when you're driving.
play Paper Mario in
You
the car
can.
all weekend.
You can.
Poorly.
I'll live stream it to you.
Perfect. I could
like
pop
Discord.
that up on my phone, honestly, and just let's do it. Yeah.
Legit question. Could you, in theory, switch your plans to take the Amtrak and have a cold and likely terrible train ride, but one where you can distract yourself with Paper Mario?
You know, I hadn't thought about it, but I guess I probably could.
I mean, I don't know if that would work out with your plans. I don't know, because, like, unfortunately, Amtrak is stupid expensive for no goddamn reason.
Yeah.
It was when Cassie and I took the Amtrak, because we had never done like a train ride like that before. We did it out to New York, and it was slightly cheaper than an airplane, but only slightly.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's not great, but
No.
but also that was a day that I didn't have to drive.
Yeah.
And it was still marginally cheaper, and I could say, I've done it. It's terrible. People were very rude, and it was cold the whole time.
Yeah, that does not sound like a good time. It would get me there and give me switch time, though. So, no, I was thinking about it, but because my car is new enough, and I don't really mind the driving. So
Fair.
it'll be good. It's going to be a good, like, 4 or 5 day trip. I'm excited, but I do not really get to play Switch. So if I'm late for any of your events, Justin, just know that it's for a good reason.
It's for Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, an honest to God 12 out of 10 game.
One of the greatest video games. It's easily top 3.
You're staying at the hotel, so I just have to go to your room and be like, come on.
Put down the Paper Mario. Come on, man.
It'll charge. It's got to charge, right?
You got to put down the ducky if you want to play the saxophone. Let's go.
That's what she said?
It's a Sesame Street thing.
That is not what she said.
The thaw comes quickly to Bering. Unusual, but not unheard of. With it comes good and bad. Cecil, while the mild weather is better for the scrolls, it does little for some of your more sensitive and foreign plants, which require longer freezes to mature properly. Arabin, you find that training outdoors in the graveyard provides a unique challenge, but the mud is not your favorite element. Harper, more trade in town means more parts for experimentation, but you're also called upon more often for mundane tasks to be done for the Outriders, or for your landlord, Keegan. Realize we never really addressed your living situation in any kind of detail, so I've got some lore there now.
Keegan.
One very early spring morning, where you three are called to the High Captain's office, Luca is looking dour.
Good morning.
Morning. Come on in, have a seat, shut the door.
Oh, no.
It's not bad, it's not great, but it's not
Are
bad.
you sure? You got kind of your bad face, your bad news face.
Yeah, whenever you look like that, it's bad.
Most of my faces are bad news faces.
Well, especially
I
since
wouldn't
you've taken
say
over as, High Captain. Yes. Have you had your morning tea?
He raises a mug.
Well, that is true. The probability has leaned up since you took on the mantle.
Yeah, well, and it kind of falls in that. Although, if I'm being perfectly honest, I have a feeling this is me operating outside of what my responsibility probably is. But seeing that the door is shut, he takes his tea, doesn't even sit down, just kind of leans against the back wall of the office, sighs, and looks up at the three of you. Sterling hasn't sent anybody to investigate Iterphenus as of yet.
Wow.
He's done everything by the books, above board and whatnot up until now. I've got people keeping an eye on official movements and whatnot. Cecil, he gives you a very meaningful look at that.
Mm-hmm.
This, for whatever reason, he has not seen fit to do a proper investigation of what is going on out there.
Or at least not one above board.
Exactly. While I haven't heard much about continued movements from the undersigned, I don't like it. Something about this whole situation is starting to stink to high heavens. Well, frankly, I would like the three of you to, as quickly and quietly as possible, get yourselves out of town, get up there, and see what you can find.
So we're fighting the skullduggery with skullduggery?
We're not fighting skullduggery. We're conducting our own skullduggery in relation to possible additional skullduggery that may or may not be taking place that we should probably know about anyway at this point. But
what's a skullduggery?
You know, like subterfuge.
Yes, that works. Subterfuge, spying,
sneaking around,
spying,
doing eavesdropping.
Arabin, when there's a secret that must be discovered and someone's holding it very close to the vest, and you do your best to kind of go suss it out without them realizing that you're trying to suss it out.
Yeah, I think I kind of know what that's like.
Yeah, we have to do that now. I've done quite a bit of this.
This is so not important, but saying eavesdropping in Harper's voice was really fun.
Yeah.
Eavesdropping?
Yeah, I bet.
Don't we have, like, a spy captain? And do we have listeners of our own? We do, right? Like,
the listener core has gotten kind of lean over the past couple of years. I mean, I know y'all weren't terribly close, but Austin, Clark, and Rogers, Austin and Clark retired. Rogers moved away. They're down south now. So Spy Captain only has so many, and we are... And he pauses and takes a look at Cecil. Did you fill them in on the thing that we talked about a couple of weeks ago? You're allowed to.
No.
It's okay.
No, that'd be a bit of skullduggery, wouldn't it? I'm good at that. Go on.
The Mosern Empire is moving. Our neighbors down south they're up to something. There are some larger troop movements at work, and it is the same within our own government as well. We don't know what's going on or why.
oh, shit.
Yeah.
My dad was just headed down to a Moser, and I hope he's back by now.
Yes, actually, we didn't cover it, but...
I know it's been like 2 seasons by this
Yeah, he would have actually passed through back around early to midwinter. Probably would have stayed for a day or two in town just to kick up his heels and spend some time with his erstwhile daughter. But yeah, no, he is well back and safe, and he didn't report anything terribly out of the ordinary. But he also doesn't know the area terribly well. You do know he was planning on moving down there, though.
Yeah.
So that's a thing to consider.
Yeah.
Regardless. So, yeah, our spy captain is keeping an eye on that. Unfortunately, with as little as we know about the undersigned, they are unfortunately a lower priority. Tackle the problems you can fix, or at least the ones you can see.
They have been quiet for a while, too, huh?
Haven't heard much.
We seem to be collecting problems.
We sure are.
This is what we are meant for, though. We are meant to collect problems, and we're meant to solve them.
Yeah.
We're doing a lot of collecting, the first bit.
Not a whole lot of
It'd be nice to do the second one.
And look,
yes.
I would love to take care of some solving. I would.
Right, so where are we going?
Itrephenus. You're heading north. It's about 3/4 of the way up to the seat. You can take the roads if you want to keep things quick, but make sure to lie low. If you want to take the, bushwhack it, the traditional way, you won't have to travel with the same level of discretion, but you'll be going through the woods, so it'll be slower going. Your call. Like I said, leave as soon as you can. Tell as few people as possible. We don't need anybody hearing anything.
Well, I hate to point out the obvious thing here, Harper, but there's only so many giant metal tortoises around.
People will notice you're gone. They don't have to know where you're going.
Well, no, I meant more there's only so many giant metal tortoises and word's gotten out about us, so it might be harder to be discreet.
Yeah. Might be.
I'm not saying don't, but I'm saying if there's a way to adjust things.
Yeah, Harper, you may want to consider camouflage of some sort for...
That's kind of where my head is at. I'll whip something up.
Good.
At least get something ready to apply on the road or something
Maybe
like that.
Maybe a tarp or a blanket.
Maybe a blanket.
Throw a blanket over it. Yes, that should work. That always works, right?
I've got some ideas.
Yeah, worst case scenario, you could, talk to Dieter as well. He might have something for you.
True.
All right, unless there's anything, y'all are dismissed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Captain. Hi, Captain.
Hey, Chase, real quick.
Yeah.
Itrophenus is the name for Saunter's Fall, right?
Correct.
Just confirming, okay, because I have Saunter's Fall written down 17 times, but not what it is in Abyssal.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Don't mind me, just picking some spells that I think will be helpful with stealth.
Harper, you could talk to the spy captain if you wanted ideas for camouflage.
It's not a bad idea. Ignis isn't unstealthy, like he doesn't have disadvantage on stealth or anything. It's just his bonus is only a +1. And just, visually, yeah, he's very unique.
Before we head out, could I have Arabin go to like an outfitter or blacksmith and see if there's any... I know Harper's right there, but...
I'm right fucking here!
Arabin wants to get some spikes for the bottom of his shoes. Since he noticed that training in the graveyard, he was slipping a lot.
Sure. I will say that is something that you can get requisition from the Outriders. You can just put some crampons on your equipment list. That is perfectly accessible.
Great.
Do we know anything about what the, terrain is reported to be like at Saunter's Fall?
Absolutely.
Is it, mountainous? Is it swampy?
Yeah, so I will say with all of the reading that Cecil and Katie did up in the seat,
Sure did.
100% that came up. So Saunter's Fall sits in the bowl of several foothills. There are some mountains and, higher cliffs nearby, but it is sitting in a lowland. Up until some number of years ago, it was a no-name party. It was literally nothing. However, around the time the stories of Saunter's Fall started to spread, one day someone just happened to notice that the terrain had changed. It went from being a lush green Bullen Hills to a blasted heath. Yeah. The soil is very fine and gray and kind of gritty. Not much grows there. It is a fairly nutritionless soil. People tend to avoid it. There's also these, in the actual divot, there are some fairly jagged stones that seem to be jutting up out of the ground. It looks like something traumatic absolutely happened here, but heaven or hells only knows what it is.
All right.
How big is this place? Is it like a country mile across? Are we talking about 300 square feet?
Probably about a country mile. It is a big stretch of area. You weren't able to find exact dimensions. Who is going to be actually measuring the weird cursed ground?
It's me. Hi, I'm the Cecil.
Weird cursed cartographers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there hasn't been a cursed cartographer with this hyperfixation yet. So
it's me. Hi, I'm the Cecil. It's me.
It's been within the last probably 50 or so years that this thing has existed. Nobody knows exactly when because it's kind of out of the way. People don't get out there very often.
So Cecil, we'd be able to triangulate it and find the epicenter of it. Mm-hmm. It will take some doing, but we'll be able to get there and see what's going on and figure some things out. Okay. Cecil takes all of their notes and packs them all up. Any and all of their maps that I'm sure they've been working on and finding, and anything they pulled from the library and the seat as well.
Mm-hmm.
Double checks it all with Katie, make sure that he has everything. Packs up a couple of teas to take with, and that's pretty much it.
Cool.
I think I've got the camouflage thing down. I don't think I need to make that a scene per se.
Excellent. Arabin, what are you doing?
Just gathering up like all of my supplies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Getting those crampons strapped on my feet and like doing some stomping around to make sure the grip is good.
Once you get outside, the grip is good. Inside the crypt itself, you're kind of slipping on the stone floors.
Yeah, they're not kryptons.
Boo. Boo.
You're right, I'm sorry. Superman's a krypton.
No, that's not Superman. That's Kal-El.
Chase is looking at what I'm presuming to be an empty beer can, wishing it was full so he could drink the pain away.
No, there's still more. I just wish it was fuller.
Hey, Chase.
Yeah.
It's not an S. It means hope.
Gang, I think we've finally done it. I think we didn't break Chase. We broke his spirit.
You all reconvene outside of the graveyard. An old wrought iron fence stands there in the cold light of morning. One of the gates is kind of like wafting in the breeze, kind of creaking open and shut. Harper, tell us about your camouflage.
Well, it's not something that is going to be like constantly on Ignis.
Mm-hmm.
Effectively, in short, I've just prepared the invisibility spell.
Okay.
And so I think what Harper has crafted is a sort of like kind of that fabric that the invisibility cloak from Harry Potter kind of looks like, except it's kind of pseudo camo prints.
Okay.
Like it's just like sort of natural like earth tones, and has some shapes on it of like branches and leaves and kind of like flattened against it.
Nice.
So I've kind of just made this like camo cloak that if necessary I can throw over Ignis, and if I have the spell slot I can burn and cast invisibility.
Excellent.
On Ignis.
Excellent.
So that's my plan. And then along the road, I might whip up something a bit more mundane.
Sure.
To just like if he needs to turtle up and look like a rock, that maybe he can do that too.
But please call it the cloak by its proper name, the Cloak of Cena.
What?
That's very good.
Damn it.
Hey, J-Dog, I shan't.
You can't see me. Simply shan't.
Harper has kind of tried to move her projects in the workshop off to the side to give like Dieter room to work. The like scrap for the base form of the cannon that she's trying to build for Ignis is still like off to the side in the workshop. She like called like Caraway in to help like shrink it down, like telescope it in and set it upright in the corner so that it's out of Dieter's way. So he's got some room to work while I'm gone. And the last thing I told him before I left, just a quick piece of like wisdom and advice, was don't touch my tools. And I walk away.
Okay, bye.
Ask Caraway if you need anything.
He loudly slurps a mug of coffee.
Yeah. You're doing great, by the way. I'm really proud of you.
Thanks. I just rolled. He does not touch your tools.
He would have been fucking dead if he did.
Can I don't even remember our guy's name. What's our Spymaster's name?
His name is Jasper Perry.
Can I go talk to Jasper?
Yeah.
Give Jasper some screen time before we head out? Can I make you pull out another voice that you have not done?
J. Perry.
Yeah. Jasper Perry, non-binary individual, he, they.
Got it.
Sick.
You go and knock on their door. Voice calls out, "Come on in."
Great. Hello, Jasper.
You walk in. They are a half gnome, half halfling.
Whoa.
And so they are quite small. But they are basically what if you took Littlefinger from Game of Thrones and then like just shrunk him in Photoshop? but much more salt and pepper going on. Like they're getting up there in years. Hello there. Cecil, it's been a minute. How you doing?
Sure has. I'm doing all right. You know, I've been out in the field more.
Yeah. No, I've heard. If I had known you were more open to field work, I would have tried to get you over onto my side of things. I mean, I guess you technically are on my side of things, but I would have tried
I'm technically on your side of things. You know, I'm always on your side of things.
Well, yes, but...
Yes, but it could always be a thing. You know, we go all across all sorts of everything. I wasn't always a steward, so...
True.
Well, anyway, Jasper, as I'm sure you know, we're being sent out to... We're being sent out to investigate Itrophenus.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not being done by anyone else.
Correct.
You got anything that I should know before we head north there?
Let me see.
I know we're looking more south with, you know, the war and all. But...
And that is the thing, and you see that their desk, which is perpetually covered in stuff, they are absolutely somebody who operates on the organized chaos kind of life. They just walk straight past their desk and they go to a panel on the wall and they press a button and the back wall shimmers for a moment and vanishes. And what you see is a wine rack, effectively, but instead of wine, it is scrolls. Scrolls upon scrolls upon scrolls. Roll me I'll say a perception check at advantage, because you've probably seen this once or twice before.
Probably. 17.
With a 17, you kind of step back, and for the first time you realize, because you've never understood what the organizational, because like this seems like a weird way to organize shit.
It's definitely not how Cecil does it.
But you look up at it and you realize it's geographic. You look at it and it is a map of the continent. What they end up doing is they pull a ladder out and they climb up to roughly where Itrophenus is, and they pull out like the 4 scrolls around it, and they bring it down and start fanning them out and looking through.
It's so cool.
And I'll give advantage on that. That's a 21. So let's see here. What more can they teach you? I mean, there's not much. And that's the unfortunate thing, is that this is a really... I'm shocked anybody goes here. Every time I have heard anybody even approach the area, they are filled with what's the word they used here? A big ick.
That's the technical term then. The big ick?
Big ick.
Big ick, yes, thank you.
So if it feels bad, you're probably going in the right direction.
Okay.
I'm going to take that again.
Good to know, yeah.
If it feels bad, you're going in the right direction. But, keep an eye out for hints of that gray dirt. It's a very fine... I felt it a handful of times. Somebody brings by it as a, oh, is this something useful? It's like, no, but I'll give you a couple copper for it anyways. Kind of a situation.
Can't hurt to have it, yes. Has the wildlife gone crazy there or been affected?
There is no wildlife around it, at least in the immediate area. There's plenty of forests and hills and whatnot.
Dead, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Nothing for it to eat. Nothing for them to eat. So, really, what you're going to want to keep an eye out for is just there is a town not too far from there, probably about half a day if you're taking it leisurely, called where is it on my scroll? Uberg. Lutholm used to be a little bit closer, but used to is the operative word.
Yes.
So yeah, Uberg, it is a little bit closer on our side, so you'll end up stopping there. There's a hunting trail that leads pretty close to it. Got a couple of way shrines and whatnot along the way, so should be a fairly easy traversal. The roads have been kept clear of bandits for the, obvious reasons, so you shouldn't have any trouble on the roads, but...
This is true. Yes, this is true. It shouldn't take that long. A few days, and then who knows how long we're there. But,
there and back.
Fantastic. I think that's all. Thank you very much, Jasper. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Anything, obviously we've got the actual job to do, but anything you're looking for to know more of or find out while we're up there? I mean, that's why we're going.
Take notes. I appreciate your reports. You're very thorough, and I've always appreciated that about you.
Thank you. And Cecil genuinely takes a second and is appreciative that somebody actually reads his notes.
Absolutely.
But
the wall doesn't keep itself in order, and that kind of detail actually.
Wall.
It is countless generations of Spymaster's work. I am honored to be a piece of it.
Something we can all understand a bit, right? Legacy. Well, hopefully this isn't the one that does it in for us. Be a shame for this to be the end of the legacy. Thank you, Jasper.
Thank you, Cecil.
I'll go out. Hey, Chase.
Yeah.
So you've described, a place where seemingly like a bomb went off. And it's barren and desolate and ashen and grainy, and nothing good lives there, and the wildlife that has all been driven out, and it's all just at this big old bad, terrible, awful place, and nothing can live there. Or what do I have to roll for you to tell me that you've that there's death claws there? I'd like to make a meta knowledge check. I'd like to make a fallout check. You
want to know if I want to set the world on fire or if I just want to light a flame in your heart?
It doesn't matter, because war never changes.
If you roll too low, we get Cazadors instead. That's no good for anyone.
Arguably
good
worse.
But if you roll high enough, we all get Nuka-Cola.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Maybe a sunset sarsaparilla.
If you get real lucky.
Tunnel snakes rule.
How do we get VATS into this? I would love me some VATS. Harper, could you put VATS on?
I think that's the time stop spell.
That's okay. It might just be time stop. Yeah. Okay. I'm working on it. I'll get there. Guys, that Fallout show was so good. Anyway.
Yo, it is real good.
It's real good.
Is there anything else anybody would like to do before leaving?
There's a ton of things I'd like to do, but I don't have any money, so I can't.
Do we get paid?
You did get paid for that last job.
Yeah, it was like $50 though.
It was more than that, I thought.
I'm set on 221 gold.
I also have gold if Harper needs some coin.
The three of you would have an additional 300 gold. That was your reward from the mission with the undersigned back in winter.
Oh, let's go. Then maybe I can afford this next time we're in town. There's an item called an all-purpose tool.
Okay.
Which is a, artificer's, Cecil has their Wand of the War Mage.
Sure.
Yep.
This is that for artificers.
Oh,
where
cool.
It's a boost to my spell attacks and spell DC. It's also a fucking magic screwdriver that I can turn into any tool that I want.
That's pretty good.
So it can be my smith's tools, my tinker tools, my thieves tools, all in one. And
that's pretty good. One.
Just a sonic screwdriver?
Kinda. And I've had my eye on that puppy for a while, but I'm poor.
We can also toss you some gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just have to come up to me and go, does Daddy Errolbin have any money?
I can't picture the reality where Harper, even as a bit, calls anyone daddy. It doesn't sound good in the accent. Harper's not that Valley Girl for that. I don't even want to attempt it. I'm
watching you doing it. Come on.
And I'm feeling like my dinner come up a little bit.
You've got to drop that tone to make it sultry.
Harper couldn't ooh to save her life.
Facts. Harper will die before
Now I want to hear the southern ooh-woo.
It's bad. That'll do. Ooh-woo.
Ooh-woo.
It's a bunch of bad noises right in a row.
Hang on, let me try it one more time. Ooh. Man, there's a lot for the cutting room floor of this episode.
That actually made Errolbin take money from Harper.
No, my money. I'm poor again.
absolutely you would need to be in a larger city to find that. So like the seat, or you would have to get very lucky with a merchant here in town, which is not impossible.
I might and if this is not the way to approach this, that's fine. But could I leave a note with the Outriders, with our quartermaster or whoever, and be like, "Hey, I have the dosh for this. Here's a purchase order.
Yes.
If someone rolls through town and has this in stock in this price range, will you buy it and I will reimburse you?"
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
They do ask that you leave the coin.
Well, I mean, where we're going,
where we're going, we don't need coin.
500, you said?
I'll leave 500 behind.
Cool. Okay.
It has taken us 7 years to say purchase order. Congratulations, Griff. You've had an original thought.
A D&D, a fantasy purchase order. I ask Cecil to notarize it.
Has big
Done.
that
Stamped.
one quest from Witcher 3 energy.
Yeah.
But there has been plenty of checks and money orders up to this point.
Absolutely.
Because that's what you purchase zoo books with.
Wasn't expecting the zoo books drop.
Zoo books hasn't left my brain since 1996.
You're better for it. All right.
Guys, I got to take, while we're off topic completely, you know what I got to do yesterday morning?
What'd you have to do yesterday morning?
I got to take JJ to the book fair.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And you know what's even better than a book fair?
Book fair as an adult?
Book fair with donuts.
Oh, fuck yeah.
PTO said, we're buying donuts. Come in and get your donut and then go to the book fair. I'm like, hell yeah. This is a great morning.
Nothing quite like the book fair booklet that was made out of almost newspaper.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The book orders, big nostalgia hit for me. Apparently, those are still a thing.
Sure are.
Did not realize that. Apparently, my nephew's daycare gets them, which is odd because my nephew is 10 months old.
Well, got to build up that library somehow.
Well, yeah, but I'm just used to it coming from Dolly Parton.
Also that. Get those free Dolly books.
Well, I can.
Yeah.
I was saying, if your child is anything like his parents, when he gets old enough for a book fair, that is going to be a significant financial hit every time.
Correct.
Yeah. Every single time.
But we will cross that bridge when we get to it. Do you requisition mounts, or are you taking this on foot?
Yeah, we get mounts because we only need 2.
True.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I got Ignis.
Well, hold on. Let's think about this, actually. So if we take horses and you ride Ignis, can you hide Ignis somehow and still make progress? Not really, no. So we would need 3.
Well, if we're gonna be discreet about this, I don't think it's a thing where if Ignis gets spotted, we're made and it's they know it's us specifically. I think we'll be okay.
I hope so. We should be. It's just, discretion is the name of the game. Better part of valor.
I don't think it'll be a problem.
I've got contingencies.
Arabin, so here's what I need you to do, Arabin. Before we leave, I've set up a bit of a obstacle course in the back, if you will. And if you would you just try it for us before we go? Papa, maybe you should too.
Course.
We just, it's a bit of it's sneaking 101. Okay, you're both a little loud.
Whoa, I fixed my armor so that I'm way quieter now.
I'm only loud when I want to be.
You're both loud people.
Well, yeah, but I know how to shove a sock in it when the mission calls for it.
Yeah, so if you would, come on. Come.
Okay.
And we go around.
I roll a 19 stealth and I'm gone. I don't go to the obstacle course. You just hear as a whisper on the wind, eat it, Seth.
There's just in the back, there's there's a section where it's a bunch of crushed up glass There's another section where there's like a bunch of wind chimes hanging that you got to move your way through. There's another one where it's like things to hide behind, and you have to like stay hidden while the guard looks and looks and then takes their next thing.
Arabin sees this obstacle course and casts invisibility on himself, and he's gone.
Yep.
Fantastic. I'm glad we have figured this out.
Excellent.
I'll have you know I'm proficient in stealth.
Ryan, forgot.
I know, it's deceptive. That's the point.
You're not proficient at that, though.
No, God, no.
You all head off down the road. I need you all to roll me either a deception check or a stealth check.
Stealth, please.
Oh, I can roll deception for this? Oh, hell yeah.
Do you require one from Ignis as well?
No, because you've got the invisibility thing going for Ignis. We're taking Ignis out.
Sounds good.
So we decided that we're taking horses and we're going, 3 of us on the roads, because that's the quickest, easiest, best way to do this. And if we're seen, but it's okay. I'm good with it.
Yeah. That's a 16 for Harper.
Cool.
I got a 23 deception.
Okay.
Yep, because we can both charisma boys roll deception. So that is a 27.
Cool.
Jesus.
You all cruise on down the road over the course of several days. You encounter every so often a random Kingsguard patrol, some larger military units, but also plenty of merchants and whatnot moving around, trying to take in the early thaw as much as they can. Eventually, you find yourselves in Uberg, where the Spymaster told you you'd be able to take a hunting trail. You're also able to stable the horses there, as you are. Once you get on that trail, it does get a little bit dicier having the larger beasts.
Sure. Anything special about Uberg? Anything here?
It's known for wool production.
So we could get real itchy clothes.
You can get some real itchy clothes.
Yeah, real warm, though.
There is a very small outrider outpost in
That's
town.
what I was wondering.
That is where you're stabling. The hide is a barn. So you are able to get your horses stabled for free because it is, outrider horses going to an outrider location. That's absolutely fine. There is not even a question of what you're doing in town. Although there is a definite eyes oh, somebody actually coming in. Weird. But that is the most notice that you are given from your fellow outriders. Do you stay in town at all, or do you head off on the path and continue moving? It's pretty early morning, probably about 8-9 o'clock.
I say
What exactly is it that we're just scouting, right? Like we're checking the area for activity and reporting back, or is that the sum of it?
It's more or less, yes. So on these types of things, it's more information gathering, and some of it will be more of the benign nature, like just so that we know, here's what Uberg's up to, here's who's in charge, here's who's been here, who's not, yada, 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 on and on and on. I've actually made a pretty handy form, and Cecil pulls out a lengthy scroll, and that he shows off. When you go around and you are checking out a bunch, keeping up on the towns and everything in the area, eventually you just templatize it, right? So I did this, probably 40 years ago at this point, and I show, we filling it out, and who's in charge, who's are there merchants, are there this, are there that, what amenities are there, how's the crops, how is this, how are the roads, yada yada, what's the population like and the density, on and on and on and on. So we'll do this for sure, because that'll be useful information for our Spymaster, but beyond that, it's any stories we can pick up on, any rumors, any of that stuff. But then we've got reason to believe that there could be something here, that the undersigned were either posted here or heading here or connected to here somehow, and for whatever reason, the king is avoiding this place officially. So we should keep our eyes open, our ears open, and not draw too much attention to ourselves, because we don't know who might be looking.
So unless we find anything interesting, this whole thing is very Cecil.
It's a bit, yes, but, you know, not finding anything, honestly, it might sound a bit trite, but finding out that there's nothing here would be an answer of its own.
Yeah, it's true. All right. Well, while we're walking around town, I think I'll leave. If we're gonna be scoping out the town, I think I'll leave Ignis here at the barn.
Okay.
If we're gonna go out into sort of the valley, I'll bring him along.
Let's spend some time in town. How big is the town, Chase? Like, would it make sense for us to spend a whole day, spend the night, and then go out in the morning?
I mean, you could probably do the town relatively quickly. I mean, we're talking maybe 100 people. It's smaller than Bering by a good margin. It is a thriving farming community.
Yeah, we don't want to leave. We know we kind of have to leave to get into the epicenter of all this early morning to get there to look at things to come back, so we're not stuck in it overnight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you can probably
silly.
You'd be able to get out there. Like if you left within the next hour or two, you'd certainly be able to get out to, you know, your goal before it got too dark, or before it got, you know, too late rather.
Yeah. Problem is, I don't think Cecil and I can't see in the dark.
Yeah.
So.
Correct. I cannot.
Now I could magically make us see in the dark, but
at the cost of what?
At the cost of me not being able to do too much other cool stuff. It uses up a lot of my resources for the day.
I don't think it's worth quite that much. I think there's plenty of other things we'll need that for.
Yeah. Like, I've got the headlights on Ignis, but that's not really stealthy.
No. Well, let's spend some time here in town, catch up on things, see what there is to see if there's any rumors, anything going about.
Okay.
Obviously, we're strangers rolling into town, and strangers rolling into town asking questions could be a whole thing, but...
Do we cop to the fact that we're Outriders, or are we playing that low, too?
Probably don't want to offer that information up front. If it comes out, it does.
Probably don't need to lead with it, but we could, you know... Fuck it. Hey, Chase.
Yeah.
If I say, hey, let's pretend to be the king's men, is that a good idea or a bad idea?
Give me an insight check. At disadvantage, because this is your first time in this town in many years, and you don't know what the culture is going to be like, because there's some places that'll play well enough.
There's some places that'll play well enough. There's some that won't. I got a 14. I guess I'm asking a little bit about, like, how receptive these people would be to, like, the king's men showing up, right? Because that's the whole thing. But also, like, knowing the balance between, like, do people want to know who the Outriders are, or do they want to believe the king's men will help keep them safe or would do things for them?
There is an Outrider outpost in town. It is very likely that they have at least a similar relationship to the town that Bering does, which is fine. The problem with portraying Kingsmen is that there may be Kingsman shit going on that you are not aware of.
This is true.
And they can start asking you some weird shit and asking for credentials and whatnot, and that could go south real quick. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. You are much closer to the seat, and it is very likely that you would be able to open up more doors if you were pretending to work, with the crown. As it is, you also very easily risk blowing your cover.
This is true. I think we're just three Outriders coming through town. And as we have to bunk out for the night, we're doing the Outriders in the town a favor and seeing if there's anything that can be helped out. Somebody might, there might be a house that maybe the tavern needs something fixed up there, Harper, or maybe we can earn some goodwill for the Outriders here. We used to do this back in the day, right? We would call them Save a Soul missions, and we would try to engender some goodwill for the Outriders. We'd go to these little towns, right? And we'd spend a day and a night, get to know the people, do some work for them, help them out where we could, and not just in ridding the roads of bandits, but also in like, how could we improve their day-to-day lives slightly and have them speak of us well. So we could do that for a day and go from there.
I think there's like a phrase in Halfling that it's like doing something out of the goodness of your heart for free. It's al dente, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. No, pro bono. That's the one it is.
There it is.
Thank you for joining us here on Another Path. You can find our website and merch store at anotherpathpodcast.com, on Twitter at anotherpathpod, and our network at ghostlightmedia.net. You can support our efforts by donating at patreon.com/ghostlightmedia or by giving us a rating and review over on Apple Podcasts or whatever podcatcher will let you. You can find me on Twitter at TQLoudly, Griffin at Griffcold, and Ryan at RyanRoll20. You can find Justin on TikTok at JustJustinMichael and myself at TQLoudly. We'll be back in 2 weeks with a new episode, and until then, remember that battles are won and lost in planning. This has been a Ghostlight Media production.